Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Well,
Oh, that was very, very.
You didn't even get all the way through welcome, and there's already a problem. It's going to be a good night.
It wasn't any of us,
What?
though.
No, it's all working. Welcome to Probability of Demise, the most beautiful thing that there ever was. You know that we're the hottest people you ever met, and you want to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about our most physically engaging trait, which in my case will be the big pink spot on my nose, right? Okay, leave a comment about the big pink spot,
Don't
whatever, on my nose.
Me. I know I'm a beautiful man, but
And-
don't objectify me.
That's going to be so hard for me.
Word of the day.
Greetings, brave adventurers, and welcome to another wonderful segment of Word of the Day, featuring my magical D100 that Jason gave to me and its beauty. Today, like always, we're going to discover a new word that I hope that you use in your everyday life, because obviously they're super easy to add to your everyday lives. And today's word, I hope I'm saying it right, because I usually have something that tells me how to say it, but I couldn't find anything to actually pronounce it. So, but it's a simple word, it looks like. Let me look at it, make sure. Okay, today's word of the day is earth. It is spelled E-R-F. And basically what it is it is a plot of land that is usually about half an acre in size. Used in a sentence, the party set up camp on the soft earth, the grassy terrain providing a perfect spot to rest before their next adventure. Ta-da!
Beautiful. When last we were together, the party was doing a bit of research, getting themselves together, getting organized, dealing with a small issue of a bunch of bullies outside of Tenement, where Seraphina's family lives, and sending off, let's call them a frat boy, to die. Now that they're all gathered back together and heading towards the tavern,
Oops.
what are you all up to?
Just head into the tavern.
Yeah. You can't sit it there, bud.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay,
Well, I think
Just
we
making sure.
yeah, because the only other thing I had talked about, we are going to wait and do, I guess, later. So, yeah.
All right. Wait and do it later. You head down into Underton. And what method of transit do you partake of?
Is there?
Open a sewer grate and jump.
Sweet. Ninja Turtle style. We watch the three make their way down, and we hear bloop, bloop, bloop.
End of game. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for campaign 2.
Is there an elevator?
I think we public transit it. That's the way we tend to get around.
I'm assuming there's the
That or the flying carpet.
The elevator.
well, we don't need the oh goodness, we don't need the flying carpet to go underground.
Yeah, but don't we have to use the flying carpet to get to said area to go down under the ground?
I don't know.
Would it show us the world?
Why don't you, Seraphina, roll, since this is your neighborhood now, for the closest entrance to Underton, and let's see how much time is spent traversing. Oh, think of a major metropolitan area with wildly inconsistent and chaotic mass transit system, and
I wouldn't know
locating a way to delve below.
I wouldn't even know what that
Ooh.
looks like.
Not great. Not
Those
great.
of us who live in the parochial lands on our own small earth.
Oh. See what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay,
here
so
for
wait,
you.
what am I rolling? History?
Survival check, please.
Survival. Sure.
You got to survive your neighborhood. That is
Oh my
definitely
God.
not a history check.
6.
3 hours of. Yeah, I think it's right down here. This alleyway looks. Oh no! I think I got it now.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Wait a minute. This train's not running for between 9 and 11. And
You definitely find 3 of them that have big red signs at the top say exit only, but you go down it anyways, just hoping. And blocked. You have to come back up and you come circle around a few times, and you end up on the other side of Seraphina's building at some point, and only those of you who know. And there is the entrance plunging down into Underton. Easily making your way into Underton. The 3 of you travel by cartboat, the quick and convenient travel tool to assist all of Overton and Underton. And the conductor of this particular cartboat is a individual covered in fur, not a kobold at all, because clearly the cartboats have made a monopoly of this, and now they employ others, or they've sold off parts of their business to others. So it's been consumed by new entries to the city over time, and more diverse cast of characters happens to manage
10
the carts.
generations of selling their medallions.
And you zip down into the bowels of the city. Eventually you come to the area renowned for secrets that I said the name of last time, the WhisperNet Hub. Ha! I got memory. Just off the Cartbold Metro is this darker, quieter community. And at the center of that community, a vast tavern. The outside looks like it's covered in tree roots, or as if the tavern may have been built into some remnant of a tree. Getting closer, you realize that this may have been above ground at some point. And time, the centuries, have buried it deeper below. The entrance looks friendly, not forbidding, well lit, but somber. And you are here at the WhisperNet Hub. Yes, Ulua.
When you say darker, do you mean as in lighting or as in ominous?
Lighting.
Okay, just checking.
My apologies.
No.
How dare
But
That's what I assumed.
since you bring it
I
up,
just didn't want to. Just in case.
yeah. But since you bring it up, why don't you roll an insight check for the general atmosphere?
Roll an insight check.
Insight check.
Do you know how the neighborhood feels?
25.
Hello, neighbor.
There's a somberness to the neighborhood that would make you think folks keep to themselves and that there's not much going on. But there's a quiet hubbub. Shops are closing, but people are moving around, brisk, with a professional demeanor. This is a place where things get done and people have goals. And so a location like a tavern would seem like the place for folks to unwind. But instead, it feels more like the center of business.
Gotcha.
Less like you're entering a village with a tavern, and more like you're in the quiet hours of a 24-hour business. And this is the conference room.
Remind me, did we rest or have we come before we rested? I'm trying to.
You had a
the
full
timeline.
rest. You asked for
Okay.
the full rest.
I couldn't remember in terms of like timeline how that fell.
It was wibbly wobbly.
Tell me more stuff.
In which case, okay. And so just to refresh my memory, the main thing is we're trying to figure out who Grand was meeting with on the regular.
Scots. Oh, no, never mind. That's
Would
a
you-
dumb idea.
Seraphina,
Never
say
mind.
it. Say it.
Well, I still have my thing that can make me. I can change my
Your
appearance.
mask of one
once.
face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I
I was
was
gonna
literally
be like,
just
oh,
thinking
I can be like Grand. I can look like Grand, and then I was like, oh wait, he's dead.
I was just thinking
So
because I
that's
I
dumb.
picked up Mask of Many Faces at last level. I was just thinking about doing the exact same thing.
What about
What if we both go as Grand? That'll really fuck with them.
Oh, Gus, we should do that, but not really.
what if you went as Miss Brand? Now, maybe that might be too. I don't know. I don't know.
Does he have a kid?
Problem. He doesn't.
There was no air. Remember,
There's
that
no
was
one
the,
to carry on the Grand's
That's
brand
right.
legacy.
That's right. Can I do like a history check or something to try to remember like maybe who his like main business partner is? Like his VP?
Sure, go ahead. The DC on this is pretty hard, and
Sure.
you don't know anything about him. So,
Her? Oh.
do you have divination? Anything that could give you a little assist?
something that
'cause-
might make you feel inspired.
What
Well,
else?
no, it's she's thinking of something. It's not like I can visibly see her and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, she's thinking really hard. I should give her inspiration."
You
Oh.
and your role play. What kind of game is this?
What am I adding? I already forgot. It's not gonna make it, but
History, would you roll?
history. 15.
It's a good roll, though. It's a good solid.
I had a
Good
yeah.
game. Good
I
game.
was able to add a
game.
bunch.
Seraphina, when you sit there in meditation, trying to clear your mind, it never gets this clear.
Oh.
Crystal clear. Absolutely no idea. Not a thought.
Just
No,
vibes.
that's just vibes.
Just sit there, my eyes closed. I got nothing. No idea. No, nothing. We could just go ask the bartender who Gran meets every day.
I mean, I.
Or not every day, but you know what I mean.
Okay, well, I could try that. I hate to ask.
You're still
but-
standing outside the tavern,
Yes,
by the way.
Yes.
People are walking by. you're loitering, lingering in a place where everybody has this professional yet go do work sort of atmosphere about them. So you're starting to stand out
Of course,
as you linger together.
Let's get inside, and then maybe we can get a table, eat some food,
And see what we see. This is becoming my new phrase, isn't it?
I'm gonna walk in and go straight to a bar.
You get stopped one step within.
I go,
Let's see credentials.
credentials.
secret
As in-
credentials.
Who are you?
Secret credentials or see some credentials?
See some.
You want
As
Yeah,
you
we
hear,
got-
see some. You hear another voice. Oh, those are the Beaks New Canaries. Check them out anyways. And you see the bartender who had spoken up and interrupted the individual asking you for credentials turn away from you and begin polishing the table. All right, credentials, and then new policy check, right? Oh yeah, full search.
I just stick my arms out. I go, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, wait. I gotta wait for Louie and Gus as Seraphina's sitting there ready.
I'm waiting
I
to
gotta
see what
wait for
happens
The two of you.
to Seraphina before I decide if I need to intervene or object.
Okay.
Since she volunteered as tribute, I'm gonna let her see what happens right now.
Okay. So. All right. You have a choice.
Choices are
You
good.
could delve into the deep dark of the spaces beyond all reason
Mhm.
to save someone.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you can throw a fake bomb into the middle of a square. What do you do?
Who am I rescuing?
I can't tell you that.
Well, how am I supposed to answer if I don't have all the information?
You pass.
Okay. I walk in.
And gestures you forward. You are able to walk up to the bar. All right, you two.
And I turn to Gus and I go, I thought he was going to touch me, in which case I would have to charge him.
Who's next?
You play your game. Figure it out.
Remind me, on 3 or after 3?
On 3.
You're the only person I've ever known who does it that way.
1, 2.
Okay.
This doesn't work
Yeah.
with the delay.
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
See, I can't.
All right, never mind. I'll go.
I just yell over. I go, Gus, come on.
Gus,
Come on!
you approach him. He looks at you.
Come on, Lee.
I found an artifact on your person. Is it stolen or a gift?
Depends on the artifact.
Tell me more.
No.
This one's suspect. Additional testing required.
Okay.
As you stand there, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear.
15.
You are shunted out of place. And you're in a small room. And within this small room, there are 3 rolled up pieces of parchment and you immediately recognize them as spell scrolls.
Okay. I'll open the middle one and see what it is.
You open the middle one. It looks like it's a scroll for fireball.
Yay, pocket. Left one.
You are shunted out of the room, back into the street outside the tavern. Alua making eye contact with you as the bouncer still has. You didn't pass. Too dangerous. You up?
I'm here.
You're lost. Is it a labyrinth or a maze?
Yes.
Additional testing! You get shunted into a different room and you see 3 musical instruments.
Ooh.
You see a banjo, the Scottish instrument that has the bag that I can't remember its name suddenly. I don't know.
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes. That was embarrassing.
How did you forget
And
bagpipes?
a harmonica.
Ooh, harmonica.
Well,
Clearly, there's a correct choice.
I am proficient in bagpipes, so I guess I would pick that. Pick it up and try to play a tune.
As you pick it up and try to play a tune, you find yourself bagpipes in tow in the alleyway outside next to Gus. Rejected.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh no!
I'm not sure there was a right answer, honestly.
Seems a little
Seraphina,
contrived.
I'm going to
Seraphina,
try
you're
again.
the only one left inside. You're going to try again?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Olua, you walk in
With the bagpipes.
with the bagpipes.
Yeah, and I'm
Great.
gonna start. What am I gonna do?
God bless you.
I can't say Gazoonenschniffle because,
Actually, every time you sneeze, you hear a little voice in your head that sounds vaguely familiar. I was waiting for you to sneeze this whole flippin' time. I had to stage a sneeze, and now today you're just going to sneeze random. It's not fair.
Sorry.
I'm upset. I've been waiting to throw your patron at you. Good Sundon Schniffle. Since the beginning.
all right. I walk back in and I go. I mean, I play these, but these I don't need them. So here, you can have them back. I'm not sure what I was supposed to do if I wasn't supposed to play them. So, but I have my own set at home.
What do I do about this? The bartender looks over. She came back. Test her again. All right.
I'm like
So-
I'm like listening outside the door. Like,
You experience a magical anomaly. What do you do?
You ask really vague questions. Am I in danger?
Are you?
Depends on in what situation I'm experiencing the anomaly.
Ah, very logical. You pass. Keep the bagpipes. They're annoying the hell out of me.
I'm gonna come back in. Hello.
All right.
Can I get tested again?
Certainly. My favorite. And you see him reach out both arms together, putting them together in prayer. And I would like you to roll a D100.
Uh-oh.
What's that sound? $51.
Prayer goes unanswered. You pass. And you realize that you just avoided a spell of divine intervention.
Jesus.
God's like me. I'm just gonna go back.
Yep, apparently. At least we know you're not one of them.
No.
And the bouncer turns back to the door, paying close attention to this. Serafina, you've had a few moments before your friends re-entered with the bartender.
I would have ordered a drink.
Oh God, here we go.
What do you order?
What is that fun, like, it was like a fancy Shirley Temple with alcohol.
The Shirley Temple has alcohol.
Way back when. I don't remember, but that.
Are you thinking of Manhattan? No.
No, it was in
No.
game.
Shirley Temple does not have alcohol, by the way.
Or is Shirley Temple
That's what
the?
I was.
That's the version. There's a.
Dirty Shirley has alcohol.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dirty Shirley's. That's
Yeah,
what
but
you were drinking
it
before.
wasn't that. We called it something, but I can't remember
I
what.
think I have it. Give me a second.
Oh my god.
As you...
But I would have ordered that.
Okay, you order whatever this thing is. And he looks at you. Well, what was in it? I'm not familiar with this. Actually, wrong person. What was in it? That's voice. I gotta get back into character.
I don't remember. I don't drink very often, but it was really, really sweet. Like really, really sweet.
Oh! I'll make you unicorn's tears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Is it made from real unicorn?
maybe.
I don't even know if I'm there yet. I'm just gonna
Yes.
ask.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. You just hear as like chunks of ice are like crushed with a hammer, and he starts smashing things, and various liquids are spooled together, and then you hear the as he shakes it up, and then here you go, and it's served up in a elegant little glass. It's sparkling, clear beverage with this smell of honeysuckle wafting off of it.
Ooh.
Is that
Take
in
it,
relation to honeysuckle? Honeysuckle.
No.
What did I say?
It's a
Honeysuckle.
honeysuckle. They said it right.
I don't know what I said anymore.
I'm pretty sure you said honeysuckle.
You did.
Awesome.
And I thought, the correct way of saying it.
Listen, just because you from Carolina.
I know the correct way of saying it. Those
As
listening at home,
Serafina
how
has
do
had
you
her
say it?
drink,
Truly.
put in the comments what's the pink spot on my nose and what? How do you say honey? That word.
Suckle.
Sickle.
Mhm, sure.
Suckle.
She just wants to be purty,
Cycle.
smell like a honeysuckle vine.
Oh. Okay. Switching my head out. But as Serafina is delivered onto herself this delicious looking drink, what
Hang on.
happens is first, I guess, Alua and then Gus arrive at the bar. And you see this fancy fruity drink being delivered to Alua as you arrive.
Hey. What took you so long?
She just received it in her hand and she's already 3 cups deep.
And I just look at the bartender and I go, just one. For those listening at
Roll a
home,
persuasion check.
because I got yelled at the last time I mouthed something or mimed something.
It's so hard to do a podcast when somebody's not using their words.
Persuasion. Ooh, 22.
You see a slight nod.
How?
We heard. You just hear in your ear.
We heard in my ear.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
He can throw his voice
Oh, okay.
or something.
I don't know.
Disembodied voice near your ear, whatever it was.
Cool. Awesome. So
Probably like a set of lips from that shop. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
stop. Why?
Ear lips.
Sorry. I broke Larissa. If you ever hear silence on the audio, it's just because we all had ADHD zone out at the same time, and not because we're, or I mean, it's because we're just mouthing things, and not because we all had ADHD zone out at the same time.
Yeah.
One of those things. Nobody's thinking about elephants right now, so it's all good.
Where'd y'all go? Why did it take you so long to get in here?
I just like squeeze the bag of bagpipes.
You hear the bouncer. Oh, no! The bartender looks at you. Did you really pass?
I tried to give them back. He didn't want them. So
Okay.
that's on him.
You see his eyes just look over at the bouncer with a little bit of suspicion. And then you hear him whisper as he points a small copper bit at somebody else in the bar. Double check, Franco.
Okay, well, so based on what he said when we came in, I'm assuming you know who sent us or why we're here then.
I may know some things.
All right. So are you then able to tell us who the victim was meeting with regularly?
I like your style, but payment and shared knowledge or in coin would be required for us to continue this, and I am not a broker, so I can set you up with the right broker.
All right.
I can set you up
I have
with
knowledge.
the correct broker. My soon-to-be sauced friend, what knowledge do you have?
Lots. I'm gonna pull out my little tom and roll him onto the bar and go, Tomaton.
Yes, we've collected many eyewitnesses' accounts, which I give you for free.
I know how to make it. I could tell you how.
I would have to send you to a different broker for that.
I snatch it up and I go, I tried, and I just take my drink.
I don't understand.
It's an option.
I don't understand. If you aren't the person we should speak to, then who should we speak to?
A broker.
Is there another person here that fills that role?
There are many. Would you like me to set you up with the right one?
I'm just gonna trundle up behind her, I assume, having now passed my test.
Oh, yeah.
Look, how much?
That's up to your broker and the information you request.
I mean, how much for you to set us up with a broker?
Oh, that is the service I provide along with your drinks. What would you like to drink?
I would like an ale, please.
All right. He turns and begins pulling a drink for you. And you miss.
Give me something to sip.
I'll give you the gnome brew. And
Give me the human one.
Yeah.
Then.
they told me you were like this.
They were correct.
All right. As you are handed, Gus, a frothy-looking ale, a little less frothy given that it's pulled from a tab and not quite the most gesunden schniffle foam. Is it the top? I don't know. I'm losing it. And Alua, you are handed a small drink. It's green in color, and it's quite frothy. Well, any food before I recommend a corner to go enjoy yourselves in?
Maybe we could share a plate? Something?
Appetizers, main course, desserts.
Do
We do
you
have our
have
specialties.
something ready with cheese of some kind? And meat.
Okay. 3 things.
In any form. It
Isn't
could
that
be
just
it could be
sandwich?
a sandwich. It could be
We
you
do
know,
have one of our
round
specials is the
thing?
Dragon's Feast. And the Dragon's Feast is just all 3 of our appetizers.
Why don't we do that?
does it have cheesy bready meat?
It has a cheesy bready thing and meat.
Okay.
And as he says that, he gestures to a booth in one of the corners. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Anybody who wants to look at that corner.
Hey. That's packed.
Ooh.
I have advantage. Oh.
Perception.
So 21.
21. You natural 20, and it's a 21. I always love those.
11.
I really should pull a feat that gives me better perception, because I'm supposed to be an investigator and I never see shit.
You never figure it out until it's already figured out. Alua, you rolled an 11, and Serafina, you rolled a what?
15.
Okay. Alua and Serafina, it's an obscured corner. Serafina, you're barely able to make out the quintessential loner look of hooded cloak sitting in the farthest corner of that booth. Gesunden, you are able to make out a few more details. You can see that there is an elven face and that they have a satchel full of files to their side, and they seem to be sitting with their back up against what looks like a file cabinet.
Strider.
I was just trying to think of like a synonym for Strider. Walker. I don't know. Tramper. Okay. Is that the person we want to speak to?
Oh, I believe so.
Thank you. I will go that way. Hope he likes cheesy bready things.
You all make your way over there and sit down.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
That's not what I was expecting from Aragorn sitting in the corner. Oh, you have a ring. Okay.
My name is Oakley Ledger. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Oakley.
Oh.
My name is Gesunden Schniffel. These are my colleagues, Alua and Serafina.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Do you mind if we sit? Are we
You've
doing-
already sat, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you, we were looking for information on Grand and who he was meeting with in this place.
Ah, they priced information. Well, you happen to have met the right broker. What form of payment would you be providing today?
What would the gold price be for this information?
Oh, it's a tough question with, the deceased and, respecting the rights of the deceased.
Even if we're trying to solve his murder?
His wife did send us.
These are factors mitigating. You say his wife, his widow, sent you.
I look at Gazunda and I was like, that's a generalization, actually. She told us where to find you, and when we explained that we are looking to help solve his murder, and so she provided us with your information. But I wouldn't say that she sent us. We sent ourselves in our attempt to find the truth, which
Hang on.
And then the
Did
operator
she not-
connected
supportive.
you with me.
Just out of character here, did she not literally say that she was going to check it out herself, but then she sent us to do it for her? Didn't that happen, or am I just misremembering?
I think you probably all could have interpreted it either way.
Yeah, I don't feel like she necessarily was like, oh, well, could you do this for me? But we were like, we may have offered.
She may have said, you'll save me the trip sort of situation, but
I just feel
so
like it was
could have
fair
been
to say that
interpreted
she
either way.
sent us, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so the operator connected you with me, and the widow sent you to this fine establishment.
Yes.
So I feel like you're raising my prices here for me.
Well, if it helps, she did not send me with a big bag of gold, so I'm on my own.
Discount for the fiscally disabled. Though I have heard that you are in for quite the lucrative deal coming up here.
Coming up, but not at the moment.
Well, there's always the opportunity to hedge bets.
Okay. What sort of information would you like in trade? If we went that route.
Well, I tend to be most interested in trade.
So
That's my speciality as a broker.
what's the name of the city that we thought was coming?
Modern.
Did you know that the floating city that's approaching is not Modern?
Old knowledge, yes. Do you have any details on it?
None, actually.
That's too bad. That's coinage we can't use here. But I am interested in your future connection. As I said, my field is trade, and you're engaging in it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to lend me your partnership as a storefront of sorts? Looks like you might be establishing yourselves in the rarest of commodities for the alchemical purposes.
I don't think we could offer that without consulting.
We're a silent partner in that business. We don't have the control to make that deal with you.
What if I asked you to hold a favor for discovery that might utilize your partnership in the future? I have plenty of investors who are already very curious about this newfound opportunity you've made for yourselves.
Your accent is just sliding back and forth.
It's I'm trying to copy.
You're Norwegian Irishman.
Yeah, I'm trying to copy the woman from Saskatchewan who was from multiple countries. So I'm trying to copy her accent, which is like just a blur of things. I've been hiding and not using the A's that she would throw in every 5 minutes. She had a bajillion A's. She was really cool.
I really don't like favors hanging over my head.
Yeah.
I am a warlock.
So
I've got
it'd have
a
to
few
be-
of those already.
Ooh. Do you happen to have information on your dark and evil patron?
What kind of information?
Well, what type of trade happens in their realm, and are they the blood soul sort, or what type of patron do you have?
I went to the Fey realm. So not so dark and evil, just tricky.
And interesting. Perhaps you'd be willing to share some of your experience with that.
I remember very little of it, but I could try.
Roll a persuasion check.
$15.
I am interested, and I feel like on the balance of the ledger, it might come out even depending on what you're able to share with me.
I just look at Alua, I look at Sabrina, and I'm like,
I mean, I was there as well, so if there's anything he can't remember, perhaps I can fill in the
multiple
gap.
witnesses.
Sabrina was also there, but does not remember being there.
I don't remember that.
That's the first
Well-
piece of information that if you go there, you may not remember when you come out. It's kind of tricky.
I do know this, which is why your contributions shall be especially enlightening. And the individual settles down, pulls out a clipboard and paper and says, "Please tell me your story, and I'll give you all I have on what Grand and I spoke about."
I knew it.
I thought so too. You may know that in the City Watch, to rise to the rank of investigator, you have to have magical abilities. And I didn't have any, and so I was ordered down here to Underton and through the Cartbold territory and through the tunnel that goes to the Delve. And somewhere in that tunnel is an entryway to the Fey Realm. I believe this is a little conjecture here because I don't remember this part, but when I came out, I had powers. Inside I met an Archfey and made a deal for him to that if anything ever happened to him, I would drop what I was doing and use my investigative skills to find and save him. And then I got these powers. I'm gonna do that thing where I light up with an Eldritch Blast, but don't cast it.
As the rainbow starts to glitter in your palm. As you continue sharing, do you all share, Lua and Gassundan, do you share your most recent escapade there? We don't need to.
I'm gonna leave out the stuff about my wife just because I don't know this guy and I don't want the Ascended to find out where she is.
And Lua, as you hear this, do you also leave out those portions, seeing that Gus is leaving that? Great. So I would like since the two of you are contributing to that story, I would like you both to roll a performance check, or one of you roll it with advantage. I think you both have super high performance, so I don't really know.
I'm assuming Larissa's is much higher than mine. I have a 4.
6. All right, I'll roll. That's cocked. Okay.
Probably too late now, but I did roll very well. I rolled to see what I would have done.
Yo, wait
Shouldn't
do
to
that.
roll.
Shouldn't do that to myself. I rolled a 19.
It's painful.
18.
18. I feel
I
unbound.
only rolled a 12, so.
As he's filing away the information, as you finish up your story, food arrives. And you see before yourselves, there's what looks like chicken wings, some tiny little, honestly, Gasundan-sized grilled cheese sandwiches on a tiny golden plate, and a creamy-looking soup with a single eyeball as a garnish. And as you look at it, you realize that that's a beholder's eye. And the waiter says to you, the dragon's feast. Dragon breath wings, gnome-sized grilled cheese, and beholder's eye soup for your enjoyment.
Do you have... Should I put that in the soup?
The what?
The garnish? Or should I eat
Oh.
that by itself?
Various people have their own interests.
If I look at it, is it bad?
It's just
I've never.
it's a protein source.
Okay.
I take the chicken wings and start to rip off the meat and put it inside of the grilled cheese and then eat it.
Awesome, yeah. You're just tearing
Ready,
apart these
cheese,
little
meat.
these teeny tiny
Drunk
little
munchies at its
gnome-sized
finest.
cheese and spicy, like it's like seasoned with dragon's breath sauce, so it's like a very spicy sauce. So the cheese probably does a great deal to like
Tempered.
make it a little less burny. And your fingers tingle a little as you rip the meat off because it's all finger food, except for the soup, which is a
My fingers
big
are
ladle.
tingling. Eat the wings. They tingle. Keep eating the wings, the sandwiches.
Yes, that's the spice just burning you, but you'll be fine.
I am going...
Can I get you any main courses, desserts, or are you all good?
Desserts?
Maybe we should finish this first, and then once we finish this, you can come tell us what dessert options there are. Does that work?
Oh, absolutely.
That way, in case we change our minds.
Would our friend here like anything?
I grab the eyeball
You
and
see-
I eat it.
Okay. It tastes like an eyeball.
Yeah.
It's full of juicy things that you did not expect to be in there, because that's what an eyeball is full of.
I thought it would taste different.
Gelatin. It's mostly filled with gelatin.
Maybe some optic fibers.
Well, yeah.
Floss your teeth a little bit.
It does get stuck in your teeth. But you can't tell, is that the chicken or is that the eyeball? But something gets stuck in your teeth. Okay. So
Oakley, would you like anything?
Oh, no. Appreciate what you brought, but I just had some unicorn steak, so I'm pretty good.
Sad. Anyway.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not unicorn. It's steak, but it's served with the rainbow-hued potatoes
Much better.
Thank you for
and horn
clarifying.
sauce.
Thank you for clarifying. I think we're all right for now, then. Perhaps in maybe 10 minutes, we can look at dessert.
Absolutely. Okay.
Is that,
So
do you feel like that was enough information to share?
yes, and you can see that he's already pulled together a file. Like he's pulled things out of the cabinet and he's like thumbing through it and jotting notes on the side. Okay, that was not paid for, so he doesn't get the right to privacy on that. Really? Did I not offer him the rebate? Huh. Interesting. He's jotting down all these notes and he hands you a sheaf of paper that is kind of a summary of notes of conversations that he's had with Grand. And then he takes a moment, takes a breath. But that's not what you really want to purchase from me. And given the value of what you've shared so far, I'll share my list. Because it may be that you all pay us back just as much as we've paid you. We've already cleared our ranks, but we can't control the ranks above. And he passes you an additional packet sealed in a manila-style envelope and arcanely bound. Passes it straight to you, Ulua. Don't let other eyes see this. And his voice and timbre drop. They've decimated our ranks, and we've cleaned house, which is why the test at the door. But you know,
are you talking about the
good
Shaladi?
You hear the room come to a halt, silent when you say that word. People look to the corner and look around at each other. We speak of similar things, and think of this as a gift from the WhisperNet to you, as we have no one in a position to act these days. And as he says this, the hubbub and business, but quiet murmuring, not loud, the quiet murmuring resumes. But for a moment there, you are all, without an insight check, able to tell that this is a very stressful situation for this establishment.
My insight check is 18.
They're saying we don't need one.
With a insight check, it is probably the topic of conversation at most of the tables. Most of the brokers, the operator, everybody here is trying to solve it. And I think from your insight check of an 18, you're also aware that they lost many of their own to clean house. When they say clean house, they mean that they have lost many of their members. You also, with this insight check of 18, saw several people glance up at a portrait tucked behind a curtain and bow respectfully to the portrait.
Do I recognize who's in the portrait?
It's obscured by curtains.
I'm just like, who's in the painting?
Ah, don't you know she's our queen? Oh, you can look.
Oh.
It's
I'll get up and go look.
more than you tuck your head under and you can see there's a beautiful individual, possibly stylized this way, but the painting is of a squirrel person, red fur, the wheel of a ship, an airship.
Oh,
It's the pirate queen.
Never ever go away.
I'm gonna sit down and be like, I used to read those stories when I was a kid. I remember those.
It's well, it may not have been founded by her directly. She is the inspiration upon which the establishment breathes. This is her home. She was born here.
Gus doesn't know she was probably born in a tree, so I'm just gonna let that go. If you have no idea what we're talking about, Campaign 1 available now.
I did give you the descriptor at the beginning of this space.
Yes, but it hasn't been that long. It's only a few hundred years, right?
Yeah, it's like 300 years.
And there were no actual like natural disasters that would have caused this to cause the forest to like.
This will remain one of those mysteries.
I think this is the natural disaster of humanity just expanding over nature, but
Or
the
chopping down
unnatural
somebody's
disaster.
home and dragging it underground.
Wow. And obsessed much?
I want
Okay,
every piece of
alright.
furniture intact when it gets down there.
All right. Jesus.
Oh, I am absolutely certain that the Timeless Trio's very meager possessions, even like filament used to clear their teeth,
Ugh.
has some value to some insane individual.
I wonder what happened to
Some
me.
Heroes of an age.
Some very rich ascendant is sleeping on Asher's cot from the tavern every night.
Undoubtedly. Or no, not sleeping on it because that would devalue it. It's just that there is a visual display piece in their private collection in their museum right next to, I don't know, Tanzanite's discarded childhood tiaras.
I feel like the ascendant must especially be interested in Asher and Tanzanite because they actually ascended. So that's
Yeah, there's definitely a huge, and I think all of you would know that, there's a huge collector thing around any being that was rumored to or is known to have ascended to being an actual god. So yeah, you have a packet of information sealed and a packet of information that is unsealed, and the table is yours. Oakley is sitting there, but should you wish to discuss more with him, you're more than welcome to, or
Is there
begin perusing.
is there a space that we can view this in private?
Oh, yes, I can return the booth to you. And as he says return the booth to you, he pulls a switch, and his section that he's in with his little file cabinet behind him pulls back and seals off. And you can hear it kind of like rotate, and he's been placed into the booth next door.
like he's in one of those fortune teller booths.
100%. I am the great Van Dimo.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I can't stop yawning. I slept
Okay,
so much today.
the table is yours in privacy. You do see the waiter kind of raise their hand once they see that Oakley has moved.
Sharafina, do you want your dessert now?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You don't
I want
sound
to
very
look
happy.
at the thing. I want to look at the things.
Okay.
And I
And I
just
don't
turned
want
to her
to
and
get
go,
them dirty with desserts.
I just look at her and go, are you mad at me because I wouldn't let you order dessert?
No.
Insight
I
check.
just like sweet things.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna pull like a little like a chocolate or something out of my bag of snacks and hand it to her.
Snatch it. I got you. And I eat it.
As she's like gobbling it, the waiter comes by. Just says, no outside food.
I knew it.
Honestly,
And just moves on. Okay, you got your packet. Which one are you digging into? If
We'll go with the unsealed one first, I think, since it's already unsealed.
yeah, it's a series of
Unsealed.
information collections around trade possibilities. There's a lot of information around getting into the undead regions where there's a vast quantity of the trees that have been found as a great replacer for constructing airships. And it's a lot of like trying to plot out and figure out how to obtain these trees that are really, it's called deadwood by many, but it's got a lot of different names. But it's really like, how do you get there? It's a lot of details about the issue of not being able to fly a vehicle into that space and how magic kind of acts strange. That holy magic might actually backfire on some individuals and stuff like that. All this like rigmarole around the issues of being in that area where the atmosphere is that of the undead. And as you kind of read through the packet of material, you find that towards the end, it really talks about the process of hiring adventuring folk to act in one's name and to make trade deals with the leashes around gathering the trees. So it looks like Rand was heavily investing, given the general expense of dealing with an information broker, in growing the enterprise in terms of travel and or possibly building his own floating city, because one of the things that is also a possibility with the quantity of deadwood that it seems to be indicated here is that it's enough to build a city or to lift a current city up into the air.
What is the timeline on these? Like, does he have all this wood? Has he had it for a long time?
He doesn't. He never. From what you're reading through here, this is a plan being built. It is not a plan that has succeeded.
So the unknown flying city that's approaching there's no possibility that would be Grants.
Not from what you're reading here.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna look up and be like, I had no idea that necromancy was real. I thought that was a myth.
I mean, is that where Sir Gregor's from?
I don't think any of you asked Sir Gregor about his whereabouts, but who would be closest to having it? I think that would be you, Ula,
Yeah, that's
possibly.
why I was asking to see if
Roll
I
a history
knew that,
check.
if I knew where he was from.
In my headcanon, Sir Gregor is just the Lich from Campaign 1.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's actually true or not.
History. Ooh, 19.
Ooh. Sir Gregor doesn't talk about this, but the rumors say that Sir Gregor was amongst those who first made deals with the necromancy people who had come to the Delve to help rescue the Delve from the dragon goddess who had come and to destroy them. And that Sir Gregor was actually one of those individuals who made a deal and has over time gained and accrued additional powers and abilities, and at some point relocated to Overton and established themselves here as they were no longer welcome amongst their family, especially as they watched the closest people in their family die of old age. So the rumors are that Sir Gregor is actually a bit of a refugee from the Delve.
Great grandpa Gregor, we'd like you to move to another city. You're weird. We don't love you like your children did. We are
When
your
the
great
patriarch of your family just won't die. Makes it hard for the kids to succeed or succeed.
Fair. Okay. So I no, then, is the answer to that question. But then I wonder, I don't understand why this information is worth killing for.
I guess we look in the other file. Maybe we can put something together.
Well, I think the other file is the list of people who've been replaced.
Well, we should look and find out.
I just want to make sure, and I turn to Seraphina, you're ready to know the truth for sure about what happened to your brother, in case that is what happened to him.
I take the last swig of my drink and I go, yeah, I'm ready.
And I just slide mine over and I go, you might want to take a sip of that as well.
How much have you drunk, Ulua?
I've been sipping it, so it's maybe about half gone.
So like the foam is gone and there's just the little green part.
That's the drunkiest part.
And then I guess I go to break the seal on it.
Okay. As you go to break the seal, you can feel that it's pulling some arcane energy from you. So you'll have to give up one spell slot in order to open it.
Okay.
And as that magic is released, it unfolds and you can see a list of names, and several of them are crossed out. And you can see a little legend to the side that notates anything crossed out is dealt with within the WhisperNet hub. As you look at it, I would love for somebody who, Lulu, I guess it's you right now, but if all of you are looking at it, like how are you parsing this out amongst each other?
I mean, I guess I would maybe look for people that I would work with on either professionally or either work with professionally or know personally, based on my job. I would assume that Gus would probably want to take anybody who's involved with the watch. And then
I think first we're gonna look for Oksana and brother name that will not stay in my head.
I mean, that's kind of how that would have shook out
Okay. So
by doing it that way.
who's looking first?
And Lua opened it, so
Yeah, I will.
Lua, go ahead and roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier to that.
Intelligence modifier? 16.
Takes you a bit of a moment before you find her name, and it is not crossed out. There's a series of notes below it indicating that this might be a highly placed individual within the organization. And then there's a sub note to that, a little asterisk, and tracing the footnote situation to the right point, you find a secondary note of Sticky Beak's companions are in close contact. Watch and observe. Additionally, as you're looking through it, you see a couple of clients who suddenly stopped connecting. You had lost them as clients and they had changed social circles. You could have chalked it up before to just circumstance and time. But in this instance, it becomes much more clear now. And there are at least 3 names that you recognize. Maybe a little bit with that 16, a little bit of panic sets in. And you look for some other names and you don't find Cecilia's name in there. You don't find anybody else in the house there.
Okay.
Serafina, do you go next?
Yeah, I look for Rodex's name.
Go ahead and roll that intelligence check.
As she goes to look, I'm just gonna give her hand a squeeze. I'm not even trying to cast inspiration and just emotional support.
And I'm so sorry. What was it I was looking for? Or rolling for?
An intelligence check.
Intelligence check. $10.
You can't find his name. So either they don't have documentation, or they have the name wrong, or something else is incorrect here. Or this particular broker just didn't have that information.
Or she's very flustered and can't find the name.
Or you're struggling.
I can't find his name.
Let me shit.
Gasundin, as you look, go ahead and roll that intelligence check. You're looking for Rodax?
Yep.
Like the tears, Seraphina, are like kind of blinding you a little bit as you're hunting.
13.
Can I help? Like, I feel like I would have helped anyways. Can I also roll again?
How would you help in a different way? Because at this point, I've had two people roll the same type of check, and that's... Like the papers are getting teardrops on them, and there's that sense of urgency and frustration growing. And
right. I mean, I guess I would have maybe cleared the way for Gus to take a better look at it by comforting Seraphina and like kind of getting her away and like making and like drying her tears so that she's not.
That's emotional support for Seraphina. It's not like part of the investigating to find the information, so I can't do that.
Should I be rolling intelligence or investigation?
This is not personal or as personal to you, so you could roll that as an investigation check.
Okay, so that would be a... What did I say before? 13?
13.
So 17.
You find the name. It's been crossed out several times, making it hard to read. And there's a date next to it indicating that they found this individual 3 days ago. And there's notes under it that indicate this individual was also a broker with WhisperNet.
Okay.
Before they were consumed by the Slod.
So he's for sure dead?
This seems to indicate that Rodex is dead and the Slod that consumed him is dead.
Seraphina, I'm so sorry. It looks like the WhisperNet found your brother, and he didn't make it. And they also killed the Slot that took him.
Where... I know the broker that we were just talking to is behind us, but how, like, is this something I can, like, you know, like booths at a restaurant where you can, like, peek over them? Or, like, if I go around the table where he is?
You could go around the table to where he is.
I'm gonna snatch up the papers, go around and throw them on the desk, or the table, and look at them for a minute and say, surely something has to be incorrect here. Something was mislabeled, someone miswrote.
Oh, it's possible. Which one is the problem here?
I point out Rodex's name.
Oh. He was a good broker. Traded in criminal intelligence.
Good no. He was a good brother. He was a good son.
Serafina. It's not his fault.
It says here he was found. Who found him?
Seeing as you're his family, I can talk you through it a bit. And he begins to tell you what he knows of Rodek, a seasoned investigator and broker. And how at some point he went from being a careful, methodical investigator to suddenly abandoning his family, disappearing from their lives, not showing up for his shifts as a broker, and just in general not behaving as he would have himself normally. They found a young bard named Lyra who had been complaining of stomach pains and had been a close confederate of Rodek's before this strange change. Folks had assumed, but brokers don't generally pry into each other's personal business that much. He shares with you. I think that Rodek was planning to introduce Lyra to his family. But when Rodek stopped going to his family and stopped showing up for his broker commitments, Lyra was hot on his trail, trying to find him, trying to figure out what was going on, because he had also kind of abandoned her. And what they found when they caught up with Lyra was she was complaining of these stomach pains. And that catching up with Lyra was at the point at which she had been embedded with the Slod embryo. And it was the first indication they had of what had happened. Lyra died of her wounds, and the Slod was unable to develop. But it was the first time the WhisperNet agents had gained the information about what had happened, and they set out to find Rodek, assuming it was just a once-off. And instead, they were ambushed by multiple Sluddy, and most of the agents were killed. And it had been a slow and careful operation to clear the WhisperNet ranks of the infiltration. They never found Rodek's body, but they did find the Sluddy that was imitating him, and they assumed that Rodek died.
I'm just gonna collect all the papers, go back to the table, put them on the counter, like the table, and just sit down.
I'm still at the table. I was just like listening because we're right at the next table,
Yeah.
but not.
It's interesting when at the table that you're at, Gasundison, you couldn't hear much. it somehow from table to table there's a spell or something that brings down the level of volume.
Okay. In that case, I probably
you
would
are
have got up and
casting whispers.
like with that knowledge, I probably would have got up to in case she was gonna like stab a whisper net guy or something. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's why I got up to follow. I'm gonna follow back. Can you? So we're in like a booth.
Yeah.
I'm going to slide in next to her, and just kind of like gingerly put my arms around her and like slowly put her head on my shoulder and just hold her.
if my investigation check is still active, or if you want me to roll another one, I'm gonna look for her mom and dad's name too.
Go ahead and roll a new investigation check now that you're hunting new information.
17. Same roll.
Neither of those names are on this list.
Okay.
As you do scan through, though, the number of names on the watch in the Hollow Council and amongst the Ascended is kind of surprising, even though you knew there was a high level of infiltration. This list isn't terribly long. There's maybe 50 unredacted names. And of those 50, 41 of them are members of some sort of political body. Only a few, a scant handful, are not members of the Watch or the Ascended or the Hollow Council. And those few all seem to be artists.
Artist that I know.
One name. Roll a history check to see if you remember this.
The guy
Nope.
who waylaid him. Aww.
I rolled a 2, sorry. So
Yeah,
it's a 4.
Doesn't quite ring a bell. And with this sad note,
Can I leave on a different note?
yeah,
I'm gonna gather up all the papers, put them away, close the door. I'm gonna say, let's go find the thing that's calling itself Oksana. And
with
cut.
we leave and head off. Thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a little bit of a sadder session just because we found some resolution to, Seraphina, the number of times I've rolled and tried to come up with reasons and then re-rolled. But I had crappy rolls. Thank you so much for joining us. This is my pod. Go find your own pod. Hope you find your pod. And hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
What's that?
Aw.
Oh, friend. I'm sorry.
My brother's dead. Most likely.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Bye.